Want to get hired as a wild man and get paid to howl and eat your food in the woods? A belly dancer was arrested in Egypt for being too seductive, and there's a new Barbie doll with type 1 diabetes. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, your only source for daily weird news in the form of a podcast. I'm your host, Jonesy. I have 3 weird news segments for you. Let's do it. Want to get paid to dress up like a Sasquatch and live in the woods? Well, this Chinese national forest is hiring wild men, and they're looking for applications from people that want to forage for their food and live in a cave, it sounds like. Let's get some more information. There was a recent advertisement for this wild men position offering a daily wage of 500 Chinese yuan, which is about $70 US, so not very much to be naked in a forest. Although, how much do those people get paid for being on Naked and Afraid? I don't think it's very much. But at least on Naked and Afraid, the whole world gets to see your genitals. Let's find out who gets to see your genitals here. Just tourists visiting the park. This is a position in the Shenonjia Forestry District, Hubei Province. I don't know if I pronounced any of that correctly. The advertisement has gone viral, and it's attracted over 10,000 job seekers. The post is for actors or characters who can behave like wild men in order to provide an immersive and interactive experience for tourists that are visiting the forest district of Shenonjia National Park, which is famous for its legend of wild men. Apparently, they got legends of wild men who inhabit the forest. They are approximately 2 meters tall, covered in reddish-brown hair, move swiftly, and emit a sound resembling a very low cry. So I assume if you're hired as an actor to portray wild men in the forest, you're going to have to behave like the wild men, which will require you wearing a lot of reddish-brown hair, moving swiftly, and making low cries like, whoa. Or maybe it's like, woo, like a ghost? Or is it more like a Wookiee? That's my Wookiee. It's pretty good, right? That's not a bad Wookiee. Shoot, I might have to apply to be a wild man. I need to be paid more than $70 a day. I'm so sorry. I mean, I can make more than that being an extra on a really bad YouTube video. And I'd be able to keep my clothes on. And I won't have to eat sticks and dirt. Look, I'm a fan of getting a daily wage and free room and board, but when the room means a tree trunk that you're living in, and by board you mean eating leaves and centipedes, I'm just not in. I'm so sorry. Now it says, according to the advertisement for the job gig, the actors will wear wild men attire that will be provided, patrol the attractions, and occasionally perform abstract dances. Ooh, I'd like to learn more about these abstract dances. I just picture a bunch of like Sasquatch-looking people dancing like Elaine from Seinfeld, doing that whole thumb thing. Can you imagine that? That's hilarious. Now, it also says the wild men are strictly restrained from speaking in front of tourists. They can only utter the woo-woo-woo sounds. The woo-woo-woo. When you woo-woo-woo, 'cause your woo-woo-woo will be mine. What? Who sang that? That's an old R&B song that's still kicking around in my cranium for some reason. Useless. Well, I mean, pretty useful here. I mean, and if I got this gig, I would probably just sing that song all day. Would you woo 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 when you woo woo woo? Some of you are listening to this and thinking there is no song that has that. But there is. Trust me, there very much is. All right, some more job specs about the wild men position. The wild men, if you're hired, need to be able to live in the wild for a long time, just says a long time, not specific, and accept being fed by the visitors with a preference for those willing to eat raw food. Oh boy, yeah. So if you're willing to just start munching on some toadstools and accepting whatever leftovers the tourists throw at your feet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thanks for these half-eaten taquitos from Taco Bell. Appreciate that. Let me go back to my cave now and munch. Wow. Now, the job position is open to all ages and genders as long as you have a healthy body. Both extroverts and introverts may apply as well. That's good to know. I'm going to assume that introverts aren't going to want to do this because introverts don't want to be half naked, jumping around doing abstract dances and going woo 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 in front of strangers. That's just my theory on how introverts behave. I've been around a few. This is mostly for extroverts for sure, and insane people for sure. I mean, if you have some sort of, I don't know, split personality disorder, this is definitely for you. If you have some sort of sick, demented obsession with cosplay, this is also for you. If you're a furry, this is probably for you as well. They're going to give you a free furry outfit. You get to be around other furry people. I mean, what I'm trying to say is this is a gig for people who are a little bent. They're not really paying you very much. And by the way, in Florida, the citizens just do this for free. So if you just want to hire some Florida men, I think you wouldn't have to pay them a damn thing. You just got to keep an eye on the Florida men because they'll do extra stuff that's not in the job description. You know, they might just go inside caves and start eating live bats. And, you know, we don't want to relive the bat situation, all right? Now, continuing with the job advertisement, it says those who want to act out their real nature or simply find a place to zone out are also welcomed. Zone out? I don't know if you want someone just zoning out. They should also record the stories of being a wild man through videos with hidden cameras, according to the advertisement. The work period is from July to August with accident insurances offered, but those selected will have to arrange their own food and accommodation. I mean, what? They're living in a treehouse. I assume you're going to provide a treehouse. No tents? Nothing? It says here you may bring your own tent and gather daily necessities independently, except for protected animals and plants, and you should run if confronted by unknown creatures. Yeah, okay. Nice to know they're protecting their employees over there. Yeah, you know, you're going to see some bears. Just run away if you can. Oh, shot by a hunter? Oh, so sorry. We don't cover that either. Who would do this? You have to kind of be out of your mind. I'd consider it, but here's my one condition. I get to have a Postmates secret hot meal of my choice whenever the sun goes down. And coffee. I need coffee on a daily basis. Maybe like a Keurig in my cave. How about that? You must provide a Keurig for my cave. Call it a cave Keurig. And I'll be working my side hustle selling bat guano lattes to the tourists. But I won't tell them that there's bat guano in it, huh? That'll be our little secret. A belly dancer was arrested in Egypt for using seductive techniques. I thought that was part of the job description of a belly dancer, to be somewhat seductive. I don't know. I've never been to Egypt. Maybe they didn't want this. Maybe it's morally unacceptable to be so seductive over in Egypt. They do have some, I'll just call them fascinating religious restrictions. All right, in this particular incident, we have a very beautiful Italian belly dancer, somewhat famous. She's been arrested and detained in Egypt for using some very arousing belly dance techniques. Her name is Sohila Tarek Hassan Hagag, which I think I butchered that name. She's a naturalized Italian, but she was born in Egypt and holds Egyptian citizenship. She dances under her dance name of Linda Martina. This is funny. Linda Martino. Sohila Tarek Hassan Hagag, also known as Linda Martino. I mean, it's just a very plain name. I mean, if you're going to choose a dance name, choose something cool. You know, like Hips Machine. Or that was bad, actually. How about Shaking It Shirley? You know, because belly dancers shake it. These are bad names, by the way, but I don't know. Get creative. Strippers do it. You know, just follow along with the strippers. In fact, just go to a strip club and listen to the DJ for a little bit. That'll give you some good belly dancing name ideas. Maybe even give you an idea on having a new career. I'm just saying, I mean, your name's not easy to pronounce, right? It's Sohila Tarek Hassan Hagag. But then when you go with Linda Martino, it's just like you just chose the name of, I don't know, a cashier from Costco. Like, what are you doing? Do better. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Despite the very plain dancing name, Linda Martino has more than 2 million followers on social media, of course. I have 7,000, by the way, just letting you know, 7,000. You know, Linda Martino, the belly dancer, 2 million. 2 million. She's really contributing much more to the culture than I am, clearly. She makes tons more money than I do as well. I'm not bitter. The fact that I don't have a very attractive belly to use to make millions of dollars. Egyptian authorities arrested her at the Cairo airport, accusing her of corrupting the public morals with her provocative dancing. My goodness. They just pulled her over at the airport. Are you Linda Martino? Yes, I am Linda Martino, the very famous belly. No, enough of that. We know who you are, Linda Martino. You're sure you're the belly dancer, Linda Martino? You're not the librarian from Wisconsin? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, you're under arrest for being too sexy, inciting debauchery with your shaking hips. All right. You've been creating arousal among the citizens, and we can't have arousal. All right. You're being arrested for using very delicious, sexy ingredients, in other words. Now, here's a strange part of the story. You would think that she was arrested for actually dancing in public in Cairo. Let's just, right? Like in the town square, whatever, at a restaurant, who knows? But no. The investigation on Linda Martino and her salacious belly dancing was triggered by videos on her Instagram account in which she writhes around in revealing clothing and describes herself as, quote, more than you can handle. In other words, like the same as 75% of all sexy Instagram influencers. What is she doing that's so crazy? I don't get it. The investigators say that she, quote, appeared in indecent clothing, deliberately exposing sensitive areas of the body in blatant violation of social values. Yep, but not in your city, right? Just on her Instagram. I mean, am I getting this correct? This woman's being arrested for things she did on social media in this country. Just very odd. I mean, did she do something indecent with the Egyptian flag, maybe? Like something that you would consider, insulting to the national spirit, and maybe that's even illegal there. I don't know. But just wearing a tight dress on social media, this is all it takes to get you arrested? And oh, man, I feel so terrible for women that visit these countries. You know the ones I'm talking about. In a word, it's Islam, that crazy Islam, where we treat our dogs better than our women. Ew, in other words, ew. Now, it was reported that this woman, Martino, was in possession of substantial sums of money at the time of her arrest, which authorities described as the proceeds of, quote, activities liable to instigate depravity. So money that she made via social media platforms. I mean, again, she wasn't prostituting herself in the Egyptian town square, was she? I don't get this at all. The Cairo prosecutor accused her of having, quote, used seductive techniques and provocative dances to incite vice. Incite vice in the town square, in City Hall. Was there a riot in Egypt because of her online videos? This lady's expected to remain in jail for at least another 2 weeks, according to the reports. The Italian embassy is seeking urgent clarification on the case. Martino moved to Egypt several years ago and has built a highly successful career. She was previously married to an Italian and is said to have relatives in the Veneto region. I don't know where that is. It's probably lovely. Her videos, often shot in popular venues to Egyptian hits, have attracted millions of views on Instagram and the TikTok. The indictments here include investigations into a cabaret on Egypt's north coast where Miss Hagag, a.k.a. Linda Martino, appeared in indecent clothing, deliberately exposing sensitive areas of her body in clear violation of public morals and social values. So she did do this at a cabaret in Egypt somewhere. She did expose herself, but it's in a cabaret. You would think that would be permitted. I don't know how the cabarets work over there. I think they just got a thing against this wonderful, beautiful Linda Martino, who, although has a very terrible belly dancer name, looks the part. She looks fantastic, beautiful. I'm sure she's got some very salacious, arousing moves, that I would welcome in my life. I welcome the seductive techniques and the debauchery incitement. Incitement? Is that a word? The article ends with some information about Egypt's recent crackdown on artists and influencers accused of undermining public morality in recent years. Under the government of Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, at least 5 belly dancers have ended up in prison on charges similar to those against Linda Martino. My goodness. And then they go on to list one woman was given a year in jail on the same charges. Unbelievable. The Egyptian crackdown comes despite efforts by UNESCO to recognize belly dancing on its lists of intangible cultural heritage. Was it not invented in Egypt? Belly dancing? I'm pretty sure it was. I know the hookah was invented in Egypt. I love hookah. I have to tell you, I've been to places where I smoked hookah and watched belly dancers at the same time. I mean, like, blow your mind. You know what I mean? And they had some real seductive techniques, indecent, very indecent. I loved it. Barbie is releasing a Barbie doll with type 1 diabetes. Although Barbie dolls have been around since 1959, it was only recently, in 2019, that the manufacturer Mattel started selling Barbie dolls with some physical disabilities. Mattel has now launched its first Barbie doll with type 1 diabetes, the latest addition to a range it says has been designed to, quote, enable more children to see themselves reflected and encourage doll play that extends beyond a child's lived experience. Now, this story about the diabetes Barbie is probably not weird to a lot of you. I was unaware, though, that Barbie had a whole line of dolls that had physical conditions. For instance, they have a wheelchair Barbie. They have a Barbie with Down syndrome even, which I didn't believe when I heard it. I looked it up. They actually have these sorts of dolls. I was unaware. So now we have one with type 1 diabetes. Oh, they also have a blind Barbie, I forgot to mention. And they do this so that they can normalize these conditions and offer something for children that have these conditions so that they can see that something is reflected of them and represents them in the toy world, which there's not a lot for them, and I'm sure it makes them feel more accepted, and I'm totally on board with that. So the type 1 diabetes doll has been designed in partnership with the global type 1 diabetes not-for-profit Breakthrough T1D. The Barbie doll wears a continuous glucose monitor on her arm to help manage her condition, and to keep it in place, she uses Barbie pink heart-shaped medical tape. Barbie also carries a mobile phone with a CGM app to help track her blood sugar levels throughout the day. The doll wears an insulin pump, providing Barbie with automated insulin dosing as needed, and holds a bag big enough for any essentials such as snacks that she might need while out and about. Announcing the new doll, Senior Vice President of Barbie, Krista Berger, said it marked, quote, an important step in our commitment to inclusivity and representation. Barbie helps shape children's early perceptions of the world, and by reflecting medical conditions like type 1 diabetes, we ensure more children can see themselves in the stories they imagine and the dolls that they love. The article has some information about the Barbie product overall. There's 175 different Barbies out there with various skin tones, eye colors, hair colors and textures, body types, and even disabilities. These include blind Barbie, a black Barbie with Down syndrome, Barbies with hearing aids, wheelchairs, prosthetic limbs, and a Barbie with vitiligo. Vitiligo? What is this? Are they trying to spell vertigo? Oh, no, I'm looking it up here. Vitiligo is a condition that causes patchy loss of skin coloring pigmentation. Oh, I've seen this before. I didn't know that's what it was called. All right, so they got Barbies with the skin condition as well. I'm sure they got acne Barbie, backney Barbie. They got a Barbie with Parkinson's that doubles as a vibrator. I'm kidding. All right, come on. You got to permit me one joke in here, all right? I was just dying to get into these. There's so many jokes I could make about a diabetes Barbie. I've behaved myself throughout this entire segment. Can you agree? Okay, well, I mean, I think I got the information out there. There's a type 1 diabetes Barbie, so if you think your child might enjoy that, please avail yourself of the Amazon Prime deals that are going on right now, apparently. Maybe you can get one really cheap. The sad part about the type 1 diabetes Barbie is that I heard she just lost her Medicaid, so can't really afford insulin, so that's an issue. Hi, my friends and loyal listeners. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Weird AF News Podcast. I hope the quality is up to your standards. As I said, I had technical difficulties, and my laptop is in the repair shop. We're not sure if we're going to be able to salvage it. Sadly, I should find out later today. Meanwhile, I'm borrowing a computer, and I'm hoping it sounds okay. I got a couple emails from people saying that they didn't notice any difference, but I just want to make sure that the quality is still there as I try and tiptoe my way through this very odd time without my computer. So, anyways, enough of that. The time for thanks and praise is here because someone just joined the Patreon. New member, Shiny Toast, Super cool name, Shiny Toast. I mean, I love it. It's a great belly dancer name. It's a great stripper name. You know. Shiny Toast became a member of the Patreon. Please enjoy the extra content in the Patreon. As I mentioned yesterday, I believe there's over 1,000 posts in the Patreon. That includes free music, songs that I've put in there that you can download the MP3 of. Songs, I mean, they all have to do with the podcast. And there's videos of me doing stand-up. There's bonus episodes. There's all kinds of stuff in there. So please enjoy the content in the Patreon, Shiny Toast. And thank you so much for becoming a member and a supporter of Weird AF News, which is one young man in a closet. So we need all the help we can get over here. So if you'd like to join the Patreon, like the very supportive Shiny Toast, please go to weirdafnews.com and you can click on the join the Patreon banner, or you can click on buy a coffee as well. These are ways you can support, or just tell a friend if maybe you can't afford to buy me a coffee or anything. It's no problem. You can tell a friend about Weird AF News. Tell them what's going on over here. Maybe your friend needs to be perked up in life. Maybe mainstream news has got them down. Well, let them know about the Weird AF News. It's still news, but it's not as it's not as depressing as the mainstream news can be these days. Anyways, if you want to reach out to me, my email's funnyjones@gmail.com. You can send me articles if you think they're appropriate for the podcast. And my Instagram is @funnyjones. I have a show tonight in Huntington Beach, tomorrow night, Thursday in Long Beach, and Friday night in Orange County near Santa Ana. So if you're in those areas, all that information will be on my Instagram @funnyjones. Hope to see you at a show at some point in SoCal if you happen to be. All right, thanks for your time and good luck with your life, man.